Hi, I'm Susanna Steers, Integrated Movement Specialist and founder at Moving Spirit, where we help active people find their best moving bodies. Today, I'd like to bring you the first in our Holiday Survival Guide series. This is just a short little series to help you find ways to support your body and to support yourself through what can sometimes be a little bit of a stressful period. As much fun as this winter holiday season is, there are times when we're not getting enough sleep, or maybe not be getting the best nutrition in the world, and our physical activity may not be at the level or the kind that we're used to. And some of the activities are different than we might be doing the rest of the year as well. So we need to find ways to look after ourselves and to help ourselves manage through this season when things are a little different than we normally expect them to be. So one of the things that often people do in this season is travel. Whether you're loading up the family and the presents and the dog and everybody into the car and heading off on a 6-hour trip to visit grandma in a faraway place, or perhaps you're lucky enough to be heading into a holiday in faraway climes where it's warm and wonderful, like Mexico or Costa Rica or something. And you know, that's fantastic, and I'm sure you're looking forward to the trip, but sometimes the getting there can be a problem. So today what we're going to look at is how to look after yourself while you're traveling. And I hope that you'll try some of these things and see how they fit your moving body, because you never know, it might just help you feel a whole lot better. Let's give it a try and see how it works. Here we go. You've just decided to embark on a trip. You've got the family in the car with you, everybody's packed in, there's stuff to the ceiling, there's stuff in the trunk, there's stuff everywhere, and you're packed in like little tin cans into your car and you're heading off. Maybe it's a mountain drive, maybe it's a drive across country, maybe it's just a couple of hours. But we want to make sure that we're looking after our spines during that period. It's also true if you're traveling on a long flight. You want to make sure that you have what you need to look after your spine and look after your structure during that period. So here's the thing. A lot of us will get in the car, and this is not any kind of a fancy car seat. More often than not, the seats are a little bit dropped. The knees might be a little bit higher than you expect. And we end up sitting in a position where the low back is kind of tucked, the tail's tucked under, the low back is kind of pushed back. And we lean back, maybe we put the head back, maybe we don't. But the position is not ideal, because eventually all of that tip back puts pressure on the lumbar spine. So after a 4 or 5 hour trip, when your hips are kind of tight because you've been squished into that little car for a while, the combination of the tight hips and the sort of tipped lower back really can create some problems. So what you want to do is take a folded up piece of towel or a small pillow and just slide it into the small of your back. This is just a small pillow, or this is the towel. And you can just slide it in behind you, sit toward the back of your seat, sit as upright as you can, and if you can, you want to make sure that your legs are as close to a 90-degree angle, the knees are at 90 degrees, as you can. If they're way up here in a bucket seat, it's going to tip you back. So if you find yourself tipped back too far, you could use the small towel, put it underneath your bum to sit your seat a little higher, and put the small towel behind your back, or the small pillow behind your back, to give you a little bit of extra support. Now this pillow is a little bit big, so you wouldn't want to go this big. But a small pillow underneath the back will just help you over the course of the long drive maintain the natural curve of your lumbar spine, which is going to help your shoulders feel better, your neck feel better, and your back feel better over the long term. So give it a try. This will apply as well if you're on a trip on the plane. So see what you can do to take a small pillow with you, or they have them on the plane. Or you could also use one of the blankets that they sometimes give out on the plane as well, because a small blanket folded behind you will do a really good job too. Give that a whirl. Air travel presents its own special kind of challenges for movement and for the body, because of the changes in air pressure and the length of time you may be sitting in cramped quarters with your knees up to your chin, people on either side of you. You may not be able to control temperature. The longer your flight, the more important it is to get up and move around. So one of the first things I like to suggest is that people get up. And say this is the side of your seat. I'd like you to get up out of your seat, maybe on a bathroom break, and just open your hips a little bit. Play with that. Keep some length in your spine, feel the length of your head, and just reach out into a long lunge stretch. You can move your hips around a little bit, shake out your legs to try and get a sense of the length of them. One of the other pieces is to make sure that you do a few heel raises. Your calf muscles act as a secondary pump for the blood vessels. So that's really important when the air pressure is low, to make sure that your body can move the blood through your system as effectively as possible. So even just standing, raising the heels, you can use the seat for balance and just raise a number of times to get the blood moving. You can also do a little quad stretch, not really quad stretch, hip flexor stretch to try and lengthen things out. Make sure your hips are level, that the knee comes in underneath you, and that you maintain some length through your center. Some twisting would also be a good idea. So again, using your seat as a guide, you can take one arm across your center, use the back of the other seat, and just twist your torso around this way, or twist it around the other way using the other seats if you wish. Or even just gently moving, swinging through the spine, lengthening the neck, easy in the shoulders. Another piece would be to make sure that you are getting some side body stretching, and some opening through the spine. So if you bring your arms up to the side, you can take your body up and back, or you could choose to take it over, really lengthening your neck to either side. Hanging the head, just anything you can do to loosen up the joints. And then walk up and down your aisle a few times, just to make sure that you're getting your body open and moving and doing the best that it can in a difficult situation, because flying does offer a special kind of challenge for the body. So wherever you're headed on your travels, whether you're staying close to home or whether you're heading off on a plane to somewhere wonderful, enjoy your trip and look after your body while you're gone.